Well, Phil Maturano, I'm a drummer from New York. I've been playing, a long time, since I was a kid. I studied with a lot of great teachers. I've had a great fortune with to study with great teachers, and I've traveled all over the world, with music, playing, and I'm now here at SAM, in India for the first time, which is an amazing experience. Really one of the most beautiful experiences ever, because for drumming, India is like one of the meccas of the world, right? So it's been a dream to come to India for many years, and I think drumming got me here. So that's great. All my past experiences and everything I've done and worked for is now like culminated in being able to be in India and studying even more. It never ends. Well, I think music education is one of the best things in the world. I mean, even if somebody doesn't end up being a pro musician, what you do is you create a human being with more feeling, more depth, more appreciation for music, which is one of the most beautiful things ever. Through appreciation for music, you become more human, become more sensitive, more open to ideas that are considered probably progressive, but that we need badly in this world today. So I think music education helps someone gain the appreciation of the art of music, which is beautiful. And if, of course, your goal is to be a pro musician, then it's much quicker to arrive at your goal if you go to a school and if you're like out on your own with no help from anybody. There's so much to learn about drumming, for example. Drumming is such a monster of a thing to learn. It's so complex that without a teacher you could be maybe floundering for years, and things that somebody with experience can tell you, boom, in 1 minute, and you're like, whoa, okay, So either way, it's a great thing. Well, the great thing about SAM is it has an international staff. So you have the culture of the country of India with guys like, for example, Karthik, who's an amazing percussionist teacher of the traditional Indian music, but the staff is international. So you're getting also a huge amount of influence from other types of music and cultures as a student here that perhaps you won't find in other places. Now, one of the main things is that here there are some fantastic teachers, which is one of the main things. And one thing is being able to play real well, but teaching well is another story. So if you are fortunate enough to have like the right person on your side as far as being a teacher, then you can progress so much faster as a player and as a student. Yes, well, we have all the classic drum courses that are featured in any serious music school. There's a drum set technique, there's reading, there's chart reading, of course, there's a band performance, there's a drumming technique course, there's ensemble playing. So it's a very wide variety of courses that I'm giving. This last one, for example, is an elective course. Career planning is called. Basically, how musicians have to aim their careers now with the modern times, with the internet and everything, all the options you have to guide your career in the way you want it, which is also a very important course. And this is a course that's offered in a lot of really serious music schools, and this is very important also, how to guide your career. So I think SAM has a really complete curriculum as far as creating a professional musician. When you are around like cats that have play their whole life. It's different than just studying with them, seeing them for an hour and they disappear. You know, there's a constant interaction with the students. It's like almost an apprenticeship, which in the old days there was the apprenticeship system where when you were a roadie for your teacher or guru, as they call it here, right? And you went to all his gigs and you set up his drum set. And you went to his house and you had dinner with him, the whole thing. And that kind of is a lost thing now, especially in the West. It hardly ever exists anymore. Of course, it's been replaced by schools, but there is something, a little bit missing, I think, for the life of the student, which is, fortunately, I got it because my teachers were kind enough. They're always like, come over to my house, man, I'll show you this, or come to this gig, but that's not always the case. And here, that whole thing is built in. So it saves a lot of time. You don't have to like travel anywhere to tell your student a story. He's right there, you can just tell him. Well, basically to study Sam, especially for drums, is such an amazing privilege because it's one of the, it's like Mecca. For drumming, it's one of the Meccas in the world. The way New York is kind of a Mecca for jazz, India is a Mecca for percussion, world music. If you get lucky enough to be able to study that, like from Carthage, or just being around here in this environment, man, you're fortunate. You're a drummer because you'll have that influence that perhaps not everybody has. And in the process of becoming a great musician, finding your voice is like one of the most important things of all. So if you have that influence of Indian music and you can integrate that into your Western thing or whatever it is, like, wow, what an advantage. That's a beautiful thing. One of my greatest teachers, for example, was Howie Shear. He's a great trumpet player in LA, composer, arranger, jazz trumpet player, amazing. And I was in a big band course that he was directing when I was younger. And he, for example, told me one of the greatest things that I took to this day, I remember when he saw me playing a song, he came up to, one of the passages that I was having difficulty in, and he said to me, he put his hand on my shoulder, and he says, man, you don't have to make musical history in one bar, So that was like a trumpet player, that I've never imagined that they could teach me so much like other musicians. So this constant interaction thing is very valuable for that. So no matter where you are, there's a guitar player, teacher, bass teacher, that everybody that you can learn from is just really valuable.